Killing Floor 2 is about trashy fun. Yeah, it's a cooperative first-person shooter with some fun extra bits, but that's not the draw. It's overflowing with gore-splosions and adrenaline-infused guitar riffs, and twisted humanoids to dismember. The goal is to blow wave after wave of monsters away with friends, get cash for doing it, and buy more powerful, face-splitting weapons. Every time, every game. To my surprise, that last part isn't really a fault. Your team is what makes it feel less like a treadmill and more like a game. It's a game made up of little moments that add up to something great. You'll run around large levels with tons of small doors, ducts, sewers, overhangs, and tunnels that make finding a fortifiable spot difficult. It means Zeds can come at you from almost anywhere, which ratchets up the tension. So teamwork is the best way you can stay alive. However, the game can be forgiving enough that if you go rogue and hunt Zeds on your own, you stand a chance of surviving, assuming you don't get blocked into a corner, like I did every time I tried it. One of those fun extra parts is called Zed time. Sometimes when you kill a Zed, it activates, and it gives you 3 seconds of slow motion. It's amazing and fun every time it happens. I thought it would get old, but it didn't. It gives you a chance to nail a headshot or save a teammate with some extra flair behind it. It was exciting every time it happened. Okay, it was less exciting the times that I found myself reloading during it, but it's only 3 seconds, so it doesn't make it that long. While the game itself is a first-person shooter, it actually feels more like a MOBA in a lot of ways. The difficulty curve of each wave, the equipment buying structure, the perks you unlock as you level each class, and like a MOBA, Killing Floor 2 is more rhythmic than repetitive. It can put you in a sort of trance, which is a great juxtaposition to the gore-splosion heavy tone. There are 10 different classes. Unfortunately, that's less exciting than it sounds. It's not a class-based game. The only serious difference between each class is their starting weapons, and all classes can purchase weapons from other classes. However, once you start leveling up a class, the bonuses you unlock only affect weapons for that class. And even the first tier of level ups made me shun other class weapons. Things like increased clip size, faster reload, and more damage add up very quickly. The exception to all of this is the survivalist, who has access to lots of different class weapons but always starts with a random weapon. Anything from a submachine gun to a shotgun to a shovel. Killing Floor 2 also reminds me of a MOBA because the AI is trash. Zeds just stumble forward in an almost straight line, trying to get to whatever player looks the tastiest. There's almost no variety to their attack patterns, even in the ones that have different kinds of attacks. Despite those flaws, 3 things really keep the AI from being completely boring. And that's the overwhelming numbers, the different types of Zeds, and the fact that they can come from almost anywhere. The interconnected levels with the sewers, and the drop-offs, and the secret areas that only Zeds can access means your back is almost never safe, and you can't get too confident, usually. At the end of the round, there's a boss battle, and that could have been awesome, but there are only 2 bosses, and you defeat them using the exact same strategy. Shoot and keep shooting until they're dead. That's it. No variety, no puzzles, no nothing. Like the boss battles, many other things feel like they're about halfway there to being something great. There are a few creative weapons that look fantastic, have multiple functions, and are just more fun to use than standard shotguns, SMGs, or rifles. But the majority of weapons are just standard guns. And in a game that purposefully pushes itself over the edge, it slacked in bringing that cool, metal, post-apocalyptic, kind of punky world that the rest of the game has in spades to more of the weapons. There's a few other modes besides just Survivor. There's a weekly event that mixes up the gunplay, and there's a versus mode, where one team is a group of people and the other get to randomly control different kinds of Zeds throughout each wave. It was cool for the few times I got to play it. The versus servers were dead almost every time I looked, and while I've got some good things and negative things to say about versus mode, I didn't really get to play it enough to let it take up a lot of time in this. All in all, Killing Floor 2 is a game that takes one idea, survival mode on an FPS, and sees how far it can run with it. Its shallow elements mix with its more thoughtful ones to create something that, despite its flaws, is really fun. I've clocked 16 hours so far, most of that with strangers, and I'm excited to jump back into it and play with some friends. If you've got friends who are still into this game, or you know some people that are getting the Humble Monthly, now is a great time to start playing. I met a lot of new players who just got it from Humble Monthly, so the servers have some life to them. If you're the only one you know who plays it, and you don't want to take the risks involved with jumping into games with strangers, you probably won't enjoy it. It does have a single player, but there's no real reward to it. The best parts, all those little moments that really make up a game, involve playing it with other people. Thanks for watching.